So you need to use your economics knowledge to compare the numbers. And for example, salvage values after 20 years, is it going to be junk, or can you sell your equipment for some good price? So all those factors are there. And finally, the engineer, he recommends the alternative, with which he wants to go with, and the justification. The justification needs to be very extensive, like the cost, can be environmental factors, social and regulatory factors. I'm just giving an example for a lagoon, like how we develop the cost, like we call it the engineer's opinion of probable cost. It's a pretty common terminology in consulting field, like EOPC. And for example, like we can have alternative 1 as a discharging lagoon, and alternative 2 as a non-discharging lagoon, and alternative 3 as a mechanical facility. So for example here, like mobilization, the items 1 to 6 is what goes out to bid, like when you bid a project to contractors, that's what it goes. And I just given few items here, not a very comprehensive one, but just for an illustration. Like, for example, mobilization can be like $20,000. For all these, state has given some guidelines to help us to develop, and based on your experience, you come up with your previous projects, you come up with these numbers. And so it's like $20,000 for the contractor to bring all his equipment to the site. And excavation, you estimate how much soil needs to be excavated for your lagoon. Let's say 5,000 cubic yards, and it's like $30 per cubic yard. And of course, when it goes out to bid, we don't list all the prices here. We leave it blank for the contractor to fill, for the bidders to fill, and then we choose the best bid, the cheap bid or the best one. But we develop our own estimate to compare the bidders. And for control structures like manholes, and then the piping, let's say 500 linear feet is what you may require, and each is at like $50 per linear feet. And there are some items where you cannot, like categorize as units, but it will be like lump sum. For a pump station, a lot of things that go into a pump station, like pumps, alarms, and cranes and stuff. So those items will be listed as lump sum. And then the force main, which is the pressure, pipes under pressure. And so this is the construction cost. And after that comes the engineering. Of course, the engineer has to be paid for his services. So, and the state again has come up with some guidelines, like for the design services, it's typical 11%, but depends on the complexity of the project. Sometimes the construction may be more. The design, if it's complicated, then we can increase. But this is just guidelines, and typically this is what we use in the industry. Design is like 11% of the construction cost, and then construction services, that is once the project starts, construction, we provide construction oversight, that's about 7%, and administration and attorney fees and stuff. So the total cost for this comes to like $392,940. So can you compare this to your other alternatives? No, because the O&M cost also has to be taken into account. And so, for example, let's say the annual O&M cost for a lagoon, including your salary and everything, like operators, all kinds of expenses for a O&M. So it's about $20,000. So what is your present worth of annual cost? This is where your economics comes into place, and you say you take a design period of 20 years for comparison with the discount rate, it's 5% typical, and you come up with the present worth of your 20-year O&M cost is like $297,550, and your capital cost is that, and so you get the total present worth. This is the number you want to compare between alternatives and come up with what is the cheapest alternative. So there's an interesting talk I'm giving you, so if I'll open this to questions.
The pumping, are those, is that a trash pump? I mean, because there must be some solids, right?
Yeah, usually the screening, what you have is like minimum, I mean, you can have like even 3 mm screens, you can reduce the solids content, but sometimes some facilities, they don't even have a screen. But the pumps are usually like, they handle up to 4 inch of solids, 4 inch, there's a size. So if you're having a lot of problems, then the city will come and put a screening equipment, otherwise they'll just go with it. So and there are a lot of different kinds of pumps, like to handle, the non-clogging pumps and grinder pumps and all those stuff. So that's a totally different area. So you can have a pump without screening, but your O&M cost and your initial cost is going to be high. So based on your requirement, you choose the pump. So, but typical is like 3-inch. It allows up to 3-inch solid, not more than 3-inch.
He showed the lagoons, I guess, a pair of lagoons for the village of Ozaki,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so I was just curious, in a situation like that, I mean, it's a very small little place. How much variability is there in terms of the wastewater influent? I mean, into those lagoons, does that vary a lot?
Yeah, that's a good question actually, because for example, you're talking about a small city. For example, if you take a place like Branson, where you're depending on the season, your flow rate. So all these, for example, the process designer should take all this into account. Your variability. For lagoon, it's already inherently taken into account, because for mechanical facilities where your residence time is very low, maybe 1 day or even 4-6 hours, so the variability will affect you. So you'll have something called an equalization basin, where your flows are equalized. Like you'll have probably like a 2-3 days or even a week of storage, where the influent wastewater is mixed, and for a 1 week of wastewater is mixed, and so after that you input into your sensitive equipment downstream. So for a lagoon, that's why you have the shape of the lagoon, like a trapezoid. If you take the cross section of a lagoon, it's like a trapezoid. So why that's done is, one reason is of course your erosion protection and mowing. The other reason mainly is during summer where your evaporation is high, because during your design you only take annual evaporation. You don't take about like summer and winter. So when your evaporation is high, and so your water level decreases, you are not able to maintain 5 feet. So, but there is a minimum. All this knowledge should be, the engineer should process based on the guidelines from the KDH, from KDH, EPA. The minimum is like 2 feet. Once it goes below 2 feet, your engineered soil liner will be compromised. Like your weeds, plant starts to grow. Above 2 feet, the sunlight cannot penetrate, so your plants cannot grow. So once it goes to below 2 feet, plant starts to grow. Once plant starts to grow, your roots penetrate your soil liner and creates porosity, increases the porosity, and your seepage increases. You design for 0.25, we usually design like 0.1 or 0.15 just to be on safer side. After your plants grow and you remove the plants, it will be different. So all these factors are there. What you will do is you take the minimum flow rate, as you said, like for a city, the minimum flow rate, and then you make sure that for that minimum flow rate, the 2 feet is maintained. So that's how you design a facility. Yes.
Say you were asked by a student how the design, or what important design parameters there are for a basin that's used for settling, for example, settling type situation. How would you explain the design of a settling basin? What important parameters are there? Perhaps quantitatively, how you would do that?
Yeah, there are parameters for a settling basin. For example, we have a surface overflow rate that is based on your volumetric inflow and the surface area of your.
Make a drawing or whatever.
Sure. So this is like a section of the clarifier, and the plan may look like this, right? Here like a baffle, and then rear here. So this will be your baffle, and then your crude drawing. Sure. And the third will be your outer wall, and this is your weir, and between this is your channel where the water will flow. Let's say your this is your water level. wastewater enters a hopper in the center